Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Boaster Court official Ironchat podcast. That's right, I'm Azula, and joined with me is the fabulous, the wonderful Jenny. Jenny, how are you doing on this fine morning or evening, depending on where you are? Yeah, me too. Even just getting into this right now, I've been waiting all week just to get the chance to say, I think so-and-so is at the top of the power ranking list. Like, they might be right here, and I might be out of the screen, but, like, the other teams are down here, if I'm gonna be honest. But okay. But yeah, even just getting into the thing, oh my god, no, but that's okay, Jenny, because this is BCT 5, and this is a community tournament. So what is BCT 5? You know, the Boaster Champions Tournament 5, our 5th installment, but it's going to be a round-robin group stage bracket with 8 teams competing to get the chance to be the top 2 in their seed, 2 different groups. And because of that, if you're top 2 in these Group A and B, you'll go on to the playoff stage. There's a loser's bracket, all out. You want to get to the top, win it all. BO3 grand final, best of 1 for the group stages. Playoffs, I believe, are all BO3. Yes, even so, Jenny, let's just keep on talking about this. Because, okay, so chat, let's talk about this, because it's you and I right now thinking, how can we make the difference here? If we go out of this bracket stage and back to the desk, we can talk about a little bit of analyst work, and then also some more about that BCT job. BCT, 8 teams, those teams are going to be competing to be the best of the best, but we're into a new level of territory in this Valorant tournament, in this Valorant World Cup, you know, if you'd like to think about it, because when talking to professional coach Skills, coach of Team 3, his thoughts on the meta right now, it's primarily an aggro with a secondary control meta. What that means for this game is that it's going to be you're either controlling space or you're aggressively taking that territory to fight it out on site. Now, often you'll see teams performing that in their attack side. It's flashes, it's KO, Sky, Jet, Raze, anyone to claim that territory, to claim that space. And then after that, after you claim that space, what's next? You're going to be fighting it out. But the defensive sided teams that you're often seeing in VCT, these pro teams like Fnatic, they're a little more respectful on that defensive side. And they're a little more respectful in that meta. Of course, because of this right now, the current meta, double duelist. And it's no longer what my favorite meta was, the triple initiator.
Awesome. I do love the triple initiator meta. I'm back, by the way. The British government tried to, I don't know, they did something to me. They want me gone, but I'm back. The EMEA government.
Welcome back, Jenny.
But I'm here. I cannot wait to see some of these comps. I'm super excited to see the incorporation of the new agent as well. I think that's really exciting, the fact that it's allowed.
Yeah, new agent, Deadlock, her utility. It's quite strong because that barrier that you can see, you're unable to break it, basically, for almost all of these teams. So we're going to even watch this graphic right now. Deadlock, super cool, taking out that utility, those guns, that gameplay. You can see Valorant dictating what it'll mean. You can see Sova, but Deadlock's almost a replacement. That sets up the barrier, and it's so difficult to break. Now that recon to set it up, and that trap, enemies, they can get out of it, but it is still a little bit interesting of a piece of utility that you have to fight around.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think in this current meta, what with the bullet changes in the magazine, I think she actually could be quite strong, considering how much how much health her wall has. Even her cocoon, her ultimate, while it's not that powerful, it's got a lot of health, and while people don't have many bullets, it might be pretty difficult to break.
Yeah, now, you'll have players like us, and we are peak Valorant gameplay. I've never seen anyone better than us in a Spike Rush game, but I need every single bullet in that Phantom just to get one kill. I can't be wasting it on whatever you see this utility from Deadlock. So when I see that barrier, I can't break it. You, like a Phantom, you're spamming it down, and I run out of bullets before I can even shoot a KO trying to flank me or something.
Like, these guys are crazy if they think I'm going to waste my precious bullets to help my teammates. That's all I'm going to say. If my teammate gets cocooned, I need those bullets to get kills. I'm not getting them any other way. Like, I need the whole mag to spam.
Yeah, exactly. And even with this, you have seen some people say that when you're in that higher rank, you can respect that territory and you can respect it. And they're not going to run into the same issues that us Ironchat podcast players are going to run into.
Absolutely.
So BCT 5, it's a question of whether the top seeds are able to help their seed 4s and 5s, especially, you know, even when they're Immortal Peak or stuff. You still want to see them helping out that gameplay so that they can still use every single bullet they have to secure that round win.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be super interesting to see the team dynamics, what with all of the different seeds. Like, the seeds are actually quite close together this event compared to some of the past events when we've had a much larger rank distribution in the different seeds. This one, we have a lot of Ascendant players, a lot of Immortal players. It'll be really interesting to see how they work together and also how they incorporate their lower seeds into their gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. But let's think about if you're playing in this game. Now, obviously, the top 2 seeds can't play Duelist or Chamber. And while some people might be upset about that, it is trying to attempt to balance the game a little bit more. Yeah. So you might not see, like, Sank on that Chamber, that gameplay that you really want to see. Never tilted in his whole life on Chamber. But it's not going to happen this match because he is seed 1 for his team. So instead, now let's look at what agents could we see from these seed 1s. A lot of controllers I've heard coming out of, especially, like, not going to leak what teams are playing what agents, because, you know, I only have input into one team, but a lot of controllers are being played, and also Sentinels. Now, I almost advise, if you're not playing that controller, I wouldn't play that Sentinel as a seed 1, in my opinion. I would play that Initiator, because then you're closer to the action. You're able to help those seed 3s who can now play Duelist, seed 4s who might be playing the Duelist, even seed 5 if you're like crazy agent. You still want to be able to help your team get onto site in an aggressive approach.
Yeah, there's a big part of, you know, fragging with those duelists. A big part of it is being able to set them up, right? Like having the right stuns, the right flashes to enable them to truly play well. And if you have these higher seeds playing these initiators, Breach, Sky, KO, they have the perfect utility. And if they play duelist enough, they'll know what utility is needed to help set up a duelist properly. And they'll be able to funnel that into their lower seeds and then enable them as a duelist.
That's a great input. Now let's even move on to look at the teams, okay? Let's go pull up that bracket and see what teams are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, my master counting skills, Jenny.
You're amazing. Amazing. So
let's get that right graphic over onto that screen, but afterwards, there you go. That's Wonderful. It. Let's look at this. Team 1, Jenny. You're looking at this with Strandval, Bacon, Avian, Stanson, Emmy. A wild combination, you know. And even moving on, I've heard chat asking about those leaked EXO scrims, and I will take one for the team and just say that when EXO went up against Team Turkey, it might not have been the best thing. EXO versus Turkey is the fight you want to see, but it did not look too good for himself. We're not going to throw any shade at him, because let's look at other teams and see what potential do you have. Any star players just stand out right away?
Yeah, I think 2 really interesting players for me are Mofcon and Gunza. They're both seed 1s, but because they're pretty new to the Discord, we haven't actually seen much of their gameplay. Obviously, from some of the scrim bucks, from some of the rumors, we figured out that they could be pretty good. But I think it'll be really interesting to see how well they perform, especially as we don't really know what agents they like to play. Like, they might be duelist mains, or maybe they already like to play support, so they're already very set and comfortable on those roles going into BCT.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, it's important to bring in that unpredictable style into your team. So Team 2, no one really knows what Mofcon's going to do. We've heard of their skill in the game. We've heard of that powerful, like, fighting force that Team 2 is going to have because of it. But even Gunzer, now, I've heard word through the tunnel of information that Gunzer is a coach themselves. So, because he's a coach, he's going to have a lot of input to bring into that team three. So, team three not only has Gunzer, a coach outside of BCT, so not when he's playing, but Gunzer coaching with skills as the head analyst. And I've heard word that not only is skills helping with this team, but Coach Ginger is an assistant analyst for this
Ooh.
squad.
That's super interesting. I think skills as a coach is going to be super interesting because he is a bit of a no life. So he's probably going to spend
Oh,
a lot of his time, like, he's got a long flight ahead of him, right? He has no life. Obviously, he's going to spend all of that time anti-stratting and stratting, coming up with comps. So this team's going to have a lot of effort invested into it. And obviously, they've got a great coach as well, an unbiased opinion, obviously. So I
mm-hmm.
think they're looking pretty set for success, to be honest.
Yeah, that squad, high potential. And you can't even forget about these other teams. Looking at them, in my opinion, this is the most, like, the highest potential I've seen out of any BCT team because I could look at it and bring up a point or a case for saying this team will win it all. The groups have been set, so the even number teams are all playing in group one, and group two is all the odd number teams. Those are competitive groups to get out of, and only the top two will get out to move on to that playoff stage, Jenny.
Hmm. God, it really is a bit of a brutal format, but I'm really excited to see which teams make it out. I think they're pretty balanced, all in all. So it's quite unpredictable to try and figure out who you think is actually going to make it out. There's really no clear answers.
Jenny, I think I have a clearer answer though, because
Do you?
we could pull up the BCT Ironchat power ranking list to come up with the number one player, to come up with who we think has the most potential to win it all in this tournament. Jenny, should we kick it off with this power ranking?
I am so excited. Let's do it.
All right, so let's go into the honorary mentions because right off the bat, some of these honorary mentions go crazy. EXO, when his DMs don't get leaked, that's a power ranking. He could have made it onto that top 10 players. Without DMs getting leaked, I think he stands a huge chance at this game.
Yeah, I agree. Something else, another honorary mention, I think is very well deserved. Fish, when he actually shows up to scrims. Unfortunately, the chance of this is happening so low that could we even really put it on the list? Is there a fighting chance that he's going to turn up to a scrim? I would bet money that he isn't. He could also play with a shotgun. I think Fish with a shotgun is a very powerful force. He deserves a place in his in these honorary mentions, but people expect him to have a shotgun. He has no life. He plays with no other guns. So I think it's going to be pretty expected. But he does definitely deserve a place in these honorary mentions.
Yes, and moving forward, even our last honorary mention, I think this one is an underappreciated one because reaction when Kenny learns to shoot his gun is going to go crazy. That team drama might be brewing up a little bit, but I've heard word that Kenny is going to learn how to shoot his gun, Jenny. Do you
No.
hear that? That is going to go crazy for this honorary mentions. And that concludes our honorary mentions. Let's move on to number 10. Who is in our number 10 slot?
We've got Ammo when he goes AFK. You see, Ammo when he's AFK, he's in his element. He knows what he's doing. He's so comfortable in this position. The other teams will never know if they're playing a 5v5 or a 5v4. You always have to account for that. You never know if you're going to be flanking and then someone's going to see you in spawn. There's the human alarm bot there that's going to alert the rest of the team. We've got a walking chamber trip, and I think that's pretty valuable.
I totally agree because even looking at their a quote that we got from Amos comms, inspiring
That
to
is
say the
really
least.
that actually it nearly moves me to tears. I might need to grab a tissue after this. Honestly,
All right,
it's very emotional.
but before we get too excited about number 10, let's go on to number 9. Emo, if he doesn't go AFK. Now, Jenny, this is a hot take because I fully back this. I think I've never seen anything stronger than when Ammo's not AFK. Like, the comms that you hear from this, a direct quote that potentially might come out of this game, Kenny is in our spawn, but freaking out a little bit, because
Of
clear
course, of
comms are
course.
important, but Ammo's comms are even better.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
we were able to pull a snapshot of him in game, and I think when he's actively playing, Team 5 could win it all. I mean, they have EXO when his DMs don't get leaked, and now they have Emma when he's not AFK. What does Team 5 not have, Jenny?
Exactly. They have all of the pieces they need for success. Ammo is going to be there. He's going to be able to click mouse 1 and shoot his gun. That's pretty valuable if you ask me.
I agree. Let's go on to number 8.
And moving on to number 8, Kiro, Mano, and Floaty after playing TFT together. This squad is very closely knit. This squad they are insane. They have like the synergy of a family. It's absolutely crazy. I don't think they'll probably ever touch Valorant together once. There's no way that they would play the actual game they're supposed to be playing in BCT. But the TFT bond, it runs deep. It's thicker than blood, thicker than water, thicker than everything. It comes first and foremost. And an amazing quote from you. I've never seen a team prepare as hard for BCT 5 as scrimming on TFT. These guys are so devoted. They're scrimming on a whole nother game. This is how much they care about winning. And I think that is important.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't expect to see a team prepare as as passionately for a game they're going to compete. Like, if you look at what team they're on team 4. That means like group 1 is going to have some intense competition from team TFT at this point.
Absolutely. I agree.
Number 7 now, get excited because at number 7, what do we have? Oh, now this is high suspense.
Productions AFK.
We're getting ready. But number 7, Gigi when playing against men. Now, nothing else we can really say about this because it speaks for itself. You've seen Gigi in death matches against professional players, Apex Mystic, dominating headshots left, right, and center, and even Foxy GG, Joe Schmo from the local road. Gigi stomps him down, headshot left, right, and center. That is something that I haven't seen Gigi do when she's not playing against men. Now, I know she performs crazy, but you don't see that level of anger or level of frustration out of anyone else. Gigi's the only one who can carry her team like this. And even a quote, I don't know, man. She just really hates them. Like, inspiring left, right, and center. That is crazy, Jenny.
It really is, isn't it? There really is nothing more I can say. Moving on to number 6. We have Bacon when he's drunk. Now, Bacon, again, just like Ammo being AFK, he's very in his element when he's drunk because he's drunk all the time. I think he drinks more alcohol than he consumes oxygen. He's so in his element. And you know what he is when he's drunk? He's unpredictable. You never know when this man is going to show up. You could have a killjoy in your spawn 10 seconds into the round and you wouldn't know. He's so unpredictable. And I think that gives his team a real advantage and he deserves a spot on the list for it.
That's interesting to hear, but I think number 5 is just a little bit better.
Of course.
And number 5, what is that? It's Fish when Alfie adds him back on Discord. It's something that teams don't appreciate sometimes. You know, you get into that false sense of security that your teammates are going to want to be your friends. But that's not always the case because if you look at this, like sometimes the teams don't want to be their friends. And we're talking about Alfie, you know, everyone wants Alfie on their team. And even Safe, after waiting many years for the approved friend request, Safe has reported that Fish is on some gangster shit. That was live on the scene a couple days ago. But now we see that Fnatic Alfie, I've heard word that he has added Fish back on Discord.
No
so
way.
This could mean that they'll win it all. And what we're talking about, this is Team 7 right here.
Yeah, this is a genuine game changer. I'm really excited to see how he plays now that Alfie has actually added him back. So moving on to number 4. Who do we have? We have Mary when she has a ghost. And I quote from myself, there is nothing scarier than someone running at you on an absurd amount of ping with a pistol. It's genuinely terrifying. There's not many things that I think that could compare. I'd probably be more scared like seeing this in one of my ranked games than watching horror movies. It's genuinely so scary and it's tilting too, and that's the main selling point of it. No one wants to die to that. And that's why I think if she can start getting some kills, if she can get herself on the board, she is going to be a big force for this team.
Yeah, like even Elon Musk can't compare to her money spreads. Like she has so much backing her that just load into the game. That 170 ping from West Coast servers in NA could dominate the BCT field, Jenny.
Absolutely. I really think she could. And moving on to number 3, this list just gets better and better.
Oh,
We
I
have
am ready.
we have Kenny, but only when he's lurking on Jet. Not on any other agents, not on Reyna, not on Chamber, not on any agents he's supposed to lurk on, although we all know Kenny and he would lurk on any agent. When he's lurking on Jet, this man is an unstoppable force. The only comms you are going to hear are, I have timing. And look, Karis is she's so amazed by how well Kenny is playing. She's actually she's so in awe of him, genuinely.
Did you know that right there is when Kenny is the last one standing on his team? This is when he was the only one there and he had all the potential for him. Now he might not have been on Jet right in that clip, but he knew what he was doing, and even Toby knows what's up because Toby famously quoted for saying, "Kenny, lurk for the love of Christ."
Absolutely. He really does know what he's doing.
Yeah, nothing else speaks to the soul more than that. But Jenny, I think these top 2 could be something else. Right now,
Whoa.
I think we need a drum roll because this next pick could be something else, okay?
Okay.
Ready, Jenny?
Okay. I'm ready.
Number 2, get ready for it. That's right.
I'm
Number
drumming.
2, Coach
Yay!
Ginger. Now, I think a lot of people are underestimating Coach Ginger. Like, as quoted, I've never worked with a better coach. Like, there's something else about that hat and those glasses while live on camera that speaks to the team, okay? She wins it all. Like, she helped AIM Labs' Free get to that grand final. They might not have won, but really I don't think that was her fault. And even Jenny, you said the only people I've seen take down Ginger are the British Airways Glasgow bag loaders and Uber customer service. Like, if those are the only people taking down Ginger, no one in this tournament can do it themselves.
It's so true. These guys are big forces, right? Like, she doesn't have many enemies. And, it's not her fault that her team couldn't shoot back in the BCT 4 finals. She didn't control their gunplay. That's all I'm going to say. I think she's a pretty solid coach. And moving on, even better than this, we have the number 1 player of our entire power rankings. Here we go.
I am ready for this.
You ready
for this?
Number 1? I'm ready for this.
Who is number 1, Jenny?
Oh.
Number 1. Get ready. That's right.
Mike,
it's Mike.
The Serbian GOAT.
That's right. Mike at number 1. An all-round, very skilled player in reading enemies, calling strats, and fragging out, provided the Serbian government allows his PC to have a good connection. Like,
we have there's
something about Mike.
There's just something about him, isn't he? He is an absolutely insane player when he is allowed to be. And I'm hoping that his PC actually survives the length of BCT 5, because if it does, he is a very unstoppable force. And I think that the other teams are going to have a very hard time against him.
Yeah, like Mike's team number 6, I've heard word that this could be the team that wins it all. You got Mike, Woeful, Toby from number 3, that quote from him. Bossman J2A and Gigi. Gigi is on this team. She could win it all right now.
I know, right?
But with Mike helping call the strats, he's been a consistent force. He's not like some of these other tier 1s who will tilt crazy, Like, I think Mike, he's calm, he's level-headed, focused, and he could show us what he has in the bag for us right now.
Absolutely. I am so excited to see how he plays.
Jenny, I think we need to bring the excitement up a little bit more, because right here, right now, I think I have a new segment for us. Oh? This segment that brings in something new, something very important. Let's go into Shark Tank.
Oh, I am so excited to see this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the show, Beckett and Karis. Welcome to Shark Tank.
Hello.
Judges.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor. It's a true honor. That's actually how I look like right now, actually, not gonna lie.
Of course.
Yeah.
I am honored to be on on the mic with you right now, Karis. It's been an honor, and I am ready to pitch to you what could be one of the best BCT teams. But before we do that, I also just want to say hi to Beckett. Beckett, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Really excited for this segment.
Okay. All right, Jenny. I think I'm going to start us off because I am pitching what could be the strongest, the best section of these BCT 4 or 5 teams. I'm going to pitch to the Sharks teams 1 through 4.
Absolutely. Go for it.
All right. Sharks, welcome to the show. It is an essential key that you listen to these next points, okay? Because I have run the numbers. I have decided that teams 1 through 4 are the most likely to win it all, okay?
Mhm.
Now, you want to invest in teams 1 through 4 because if you look at it, you have Team Turkey in number 2. That's right. Turkey is competing in the form of Mafkan, Sino, and I believe Mavi also. So that right there, that Turkish core, they're going to win it all. So you want to get in on that before it blows up. Buy low, sell high is the game plan for this. But also, Team TFT is just standing there. They're waiting to shine. They're going to be the underrepresented team that you don't expect to win it all. They're going to qualify maybe seed 2, go on to the grand finals and stomp whatever team is there. Of course, though, you can't forget the team that actually could win it all, Fireschwein's team. Fireschwein, with those lineups, are different. Now, his Viper lineups, he's promised that they're going to land every single time, and he's promised that it's going to be a helpful lineup. Have we seen Fire play those lineups? Not yet, but he's promised it. So I think that speaks for itself in something else. Of course, Team 1, you can't forget about it. This duo of Bacon, now Bacon might have consumed some alcoholic beverages before his matches, but you also have Avian and Oscar. Now, Strandvald or Oscar, as many know, is someone who you can count on to tilt the rest of the team, I think. Now, he is known for being really friendly in some BCs. I'm just kidding about that. But he's known for something. I don't know what he's known for, but he's known for something, okay? So you invest here. Oscar could be the reason why we win it all, of course. We just need him to shoot his gun a couple times, and boom, BCT 5 champion. Now, Sharks, if you're thinking about this team has promised potential. The team will nonstop go on to succeed, or they will bomb out immediately. But that's an exciting match that you want to see. So, Sharks, I'm only asking for a mere $3 million with maybe 2% equity, and you could have it all right here.
Okay, I can start off, I guess.
Mhm.
I think there's 2 really strong teams in this bunch. 2 that are not like the others, let's say. I think Team 2 and 3 have serious potential of taking the whole tournament
Yes.
home
Yes, I agree.
because of their strong seed ones, primarily.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also have Team 1 and 4. I know that Team 4 is a lot of TFT players. I don't even know if they're gonna scrim or anything. So that's why I don't have much faith in them. Team 1...
I don't think you need a scrim. Like, they could win it all right now.
Yeah, they could. But it's not likely, right?
Yeah, actually, I agree with that one. I will mark it down right now. Pen and paper right here, you know.
And then we have Team 1. I think they have strong players. It just depends how they're feeling on the day, you feel me? Like, maybe Bacon is feeling a bit silly, you know? And then starts drinking a bit, and then maybe it starts looking a bit south, let's say.
I actually believe in Team 1, and I'm gonna explain why. I've played Valorant not only with Pain whilst he's drunk, but also Bacon whilst he's drunk, and it's not enough. It's a buff. It gives them some sort of like confidence, you know,
Okay.
which I think is essential. So I believe in Team 1. The Turkish buff, I agree, is also very real, as we've seen in recent VCT events. With Althea, MVP of the tournament, it's definitely real. So yeah. Unfortunately,
this is like, oh
no,
damn. I was about to pitch that they are the next BBL queens right here.
Yeah,
BBL
100%.
queens is in our tournament.
100%. I agree. I mean, obviously, I have so much money that it's, you know, it's hard. It's hard to pick which team I want to give it all to, but yeah, at the moment I'm leaning towards Team 1 and Team 2.
Thank you for
Yeah.
your input.
Fair point.
Jenny, if you can top those with your teams, then maybe I'll let you slide. But right now, I think the Sharks are all on board for mine.
Oh, I think I can. So I am going to pitch my teams separately, and I'm not going to lie. Right, the Champions Grand Finals tickets are expensive. I will take whatever you will give me for these teams. I'll take whatever. I'll pick up whatever you're putting down. Okay. So Team 5, if you want to buy Team 5, look at these guys. You've got Orbit and Ammo, the absolute Giga Chad Rizful duo. Look at them. They're both, the synergy between these guys is absolutely insane. How could you pass up on them? You've got Pootsie the Goat, and you've got Steffi, my queen, and then there's Belios. And anyway, this team is genuinely nuts, and I think you would be stupid to pass up on such synergy. What do you guys think? Are you gonna invest?
I actually think that Team 5 could be the strongest team in this group, or in out of these 4 teams. Just because of the history. I mean, if you think about EXO and Steffi and Ammo, they're all OGs. They've all been in the server for a long time. They don't just have team chemistry, but they have like they've got the friendship chemistry as well.
True.
So yeah, I'm liking
Power
what I'm
of
seeing.
friendship.
Team 5.
Yeah, I agree. Beckett, you thinking of investing?
Yeah, I see what you mean there. They have strong individuals in the team. Steffi, if she gets back to pace, before she quit, because they can do a lot of damage. Let's say.
Yeah,
I think Ammo as well has a new PC on the way. So
it's true.
if
Good
he gets
shout.
it before this tournament, that could be pretty massive for this team. Big confidence
agree.
boost. Let's say that.
I agree. So, Team 6, if you guys want to get a piece of Team 6, I think you would be stupid not to. We've got Mike, who we think is one of the best players in the tournament. We have the Serbian GOAT. Woeful, who is like mini Nats. We have Toby. Toby is a dark horse, and if you know anything about the Valorant players of the server, you know not to underestimate him. Toby is the next coming of Simple, and I think you would be dumb not to invest. Look how many earnings Simple has now. You guys, you look at Simple, you would invest into Simple, so why wouldn't you invest into Toby? We have Bossman J2A, Jeffrey the GOAT. He's called Jeffrey, like I don't even need to say anything more. Like, who doesn't love a guy called Jeffrey? And then we've got
that's
Gigi.
actually good.
Look how many men we have in Gigi's group. She's gonna go crazy. This team is winning everything. What do you guys think? You're gonna buy a piece of Team 6?
I think Team 6 has. I think they have the highest variance in the tournament. Let's say. I think they could go from being the worst team in the tournament to being the undisputed best and winning the whole thing. I think a lot of the a lot of the pressure. Let's say pressure is on Woeful to hold this team together, because I know some of these personalities might clash, and we might have a bit of team imploding. From the inside, imploding from the inside, exactly.
Fair enough.
So they have a lot of variance, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think that for this team, their morals really carry them forward. We know like Mike and Woeful, they're good people. Toby, he's a tree hugger, koala enthusiast. Gigi hates men. Like their morals are in the right place, and that's what I think is gonna carry the team forward.
Amazing. God, you are so based, Karis. So now that we've got out of the way, Team 7. This team is crazy. You have Fish. Fish is probably not going to turn up to a scrim, but he doesn't even need to, because that's how good he is. Like, he'll probably be high when he's playing, but it doesn't matter. It just makes him more unpredictable, We've got Safe the GOAT. I don't even need to say anymore. Airhand the GOAT. I don't even need to say anymore. This team is filled with individual GOATs, and I think as long as Alfie actually adds them back and starts talking in their group chat, they could win everything. I think that they have a lot of potential, and I think you guys should invest. What do you think?
Do you want to go first?
No. I think you should go first.
Okay.
Yeah,
like you said, Fish basically plays like he's perma high with the judge, but it also can tilt a lot of opponents pretty easily. So it can, based on matchup, it could really work wonders for the team. I think the Safe and Erhan known each other for a long time, good friends, so they might have a good connection there. I'm not gonna say too much, but I know a few things behind the scenes which could lead to a lot of success coming from that duo. I think
I asked a
Sindel.
Magic 8 Ball. Guys, I had to interrupt. I asked a Magic 8 Ball if Fish was
Ginger.
going to win it all, and it said it's certain. So, like,
Oh,
I mean, this is not
really?
good for you. You're trying
See,
to
you
sell.
know me. You love. I love crystals. I love astrology. So, and magic 8 balls. Just chuck them in there. Like I'll believe anything that they say. So yeah, that's
Of
enough
course.
Yeah.
reason for me.
Our final team, Team 8. Now I know what you're thinking. This team ain't winning shit. And you're right. I'll be surprised if they win a single map. But you know why you should invest? The content. This team is going to garner, what, like 5 extra viewers? Those 5 viewers, they could Twitch Prime. That revenue is yours. You get free Twitch Primes. And then you know what's going to happen? Reaction makes another KBC video out of it. Just imagine. It goes viral. The views come rolling in. All of that ad revenue from those YouTube videos of Kenny whiffing. They could all be yours. So you should invest into this team because while they're not going to win shit, they could get you a lot of money. And everyone loves money. You guys investing?
The thing is, Jenny, before you said all that, I was thinking, no way. You know, there's 2 people on my fraud watch list. There's George Geddes and there's Kenny. And so I would have told you that before today, I wouldn't have invested shit in a team that has Kenny in it. But after you said that, I agree. This team is either getting grouped or they're making it to the grand finals,
I agree.
and that's
a
a risk that I'm willing to take.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Beckett?
I think this team has upside, of course. I was in a VC with Kenny and Reaction early morning, late night, whatever you want to call it. And the only thing Kenny was begging for was to play Reina or Chamber in the tournament. And I don't think Reaction was really a fan of that idea. So
oh.
I don't know. I don't know what we will see from this team. There is a lot of variety they have. I'd say they can choose a lot of different comps.
Interesting that you
I
say
agree.
that, but I need a verdict, I think, now. Sharks, are you going to invest in teams 1 through 4 or 5 through 8?
It's a tough one. It's a tough one, but I think I have to go for teams 5 through 8. I'm sorry,
My
but
man!
yeah,
Beckett,
I'm invested.
You and I have been friends.
I'm emotionally invested.
I think it's a really close call between both these batches of teams. Let's say. I think the team 5 to 8 has more, let's say, content, more what you want to call it, like more content basically. It's more fun to watch, I'd say. You know more people on those teams. But I think team 1 to 4, especially team 2 and 3, can do a lot of damage in this tournament. I think these 2 teams are probably 2 of the teams that will make it past groups, which and I'm not doubting that expectation in my head. So winning wise, I'd probably have teams 1 to 4. So I'd say team 1 to 4, yeah.
Thank you, Beckett. I knew you were my favorite production member of this squad.
Let's
Thank
go,
you.
let's go.
It's been an honor to talk to both of you. We will follow through with the investments. I will send you that bill as soon as possible. But thank you for joining us both, Beckett and Karis, and we will go back to the desk now.
Thank you guys, thank you.
Thank you
It
for
was an
having
honor,
me.
it was an honor. I had so much fun.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Jenny, you know, I'm just happy I got one investment in. I do think that team 8, I think that swayed it all for you. Like, if I had team 8 plus like 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think I could have won both investments. It's okay.
Yeah.
I will let it slide. But, you know, we've pitched current teams and we pitched current groups, basically. But you know what we haven't done yet?
What haven't we done?
We haven't brought in our fantasy draft picks, personally. Now, Jenny, fantasy teams are important because I think if we bring up these teams, this could show it all. Now, of course, viewers, if you ignore that bottom bar, let's go right into Jenny's fantasy team.
Hell yeah. This is my fantasy team. So I've picked 5 players from the whole BCT player pool. And this is the team that I think if I was to create something, would win everything. Let's pop onto the next slide. Look at it. Way! So my team is based on not who I think will tilt the most, but who I think are the tilters, like the enablers. Like, who would be the most annoying to die to? Who would be the most jarring and brutal? You combine all of these together, and you get a team that would just be so annoying to play against. So, my first player on my fantasy team is Leo, because there is nothing more annoying than getting flashed and teleported by a Yoru main. He doesn't play anything else. He no-lifes Yoru, and he's still going to kill you. He's still going to beat you on that agent. You don't have any hope. How angry is it? Every time you die, you're talking to yourself, this guy mains Yoru. What the fuck? But it's still going to happen. And my second player, we have got the wonderful Gigi. Now, Gigi not only is toxic as hell, she is also Turkish, and she is playing from Turkey. And you know what that means? That means we've got a 70 ping swing. That means we've got the Kanka peaks. No. And you know what Gigi will do? You could kill her 20 rounds in a row, but if she kills you once, she's going to be teabagging, shooting your body. She's going to 70 ping swing you, and she is never going to let you live it down. And it is going to be so tilting. The third player that I have on my team, we got the wonderful Woeful. Now, Woeful is a little lurk
That's
god.
A good pick. That's a good pick.
It is, isn't it? He's going to find the most annoying timings. You're going to look away for 2 seconds and he's going to peek you. You're going to hold an angle for half the round, and the second you turn away, he's going to shoot you in the side of the head. And it's so frustrating to play against. My fourth player, we have got Stans. Now, Stans, I know a lot of you guys don't know much about. Stans is a Sky main. Stans has nearly 800 hours on Sky. His next most played agent, only Sky. His next most played agent is KO, which is about 30 hours. That's it. Now, Stans is going to have flashes you're never going to see coming. You're going to be so mad when you die to this guy. You're going to be screaming to your teammates, what the fuck is that flash? Why is he there? You won't know. This guy has more hours on Sky than his parents have in life. Like, he's absolutely all set. And my fifth and final player to round out my roster, we have got Mano. Now, I think everyone remembers that clip of Mano getting 2 kills while jumping with a stinger in BCT, which was stupid, and that is just a Valorant moment in itself. But Mano hasn't played the game in ages. She just buys Odins and spams it. And when she kills you doing that, you are going to be so mad. And combined, every single one of your team members is going to die to someone in this team, and they're going to get so mad they're not going to be able to function. This team's just going to farm by tilting other people, and that's why I picked them for my fantasy team.
Oh, wow. No, that is something else, Jenny, and I'm amazed that you could have come up with such a wonderful roster. Now, each member of this team could bring out the tilt in everyone else. Now, if like this team was playing against Mike, Sank, even Beckett and Sena, I think then that team is gone. It's GG's for them. But since that's not a team that I'm pitching, I think we should come to mine to see what team is my fantasy draft pick, okay?
Absolutely. I can't wait to see this.
Now, this is Ginger's fantasy, Azula Cast fantasy team pick.
That's now, an NA slide if I've ever seen one.
Is the unpredictable team, okay? Like, we're talking, you've never expected something as great from this team, but they could also really underperform, so you don't know what to expect, okay? But I'm willing to take that gamble. So in my first player that I'm going to choose for the team is Ammo. Now, he's known across the world for being AFK, but I think that just brings out something in the team that we will need. Like, you need someone to be AFK most of the rounds. How else will you know if they lurk through or if they flank through spawn? Ammo, hide in the corner, AFK, and you will see a little pesky Kenny on Jet flanking through spawn. Now, I think something about that could just go crazy in a match. Like, of course, you don't know if Ammo's going to be AFK that round because sometimes his computer will crash, his Wi-Fi will die. And that's why it's unpredictable, because the surprise makes it so much better than knowing you have a consistent AFK on your team.
I absolutely agree.
It wouldn't be complete without number two. Number 2 on the team, Fireschwein. Now, I mentioned Fireschwein earlier about how he is so good at lineups that are promised, okay? Now, you don't always know if the lineup's going to land, but this BCT, they could land. Those Viper lineups that he's been practicing, you might actually see them for the first time. Something about an elbow lineup or something. Smoking elbow. It could happen this round.
He could have learnt it.
yeah, he could have learned it on Bind or something or anywhere. But this is only if you were to like invest in this team or to sign this team as a fantasy roster, they could win it based on Fireschwein's lineups. Of course, you can't have a two-member roster, and I really did try because I do think they're the most promising members of this whole BCT roster. But number 3 is Mary. Now, I know this was a controversial pick because you also wanted her, but
I did.
I think Mary just belongs on this squad. She is so good at running it down. Like, you need someone who can consistently ignore your IGL and just run it down. Like, why would you have an IGL if you're not going to ignore them, you know?
Exactly. So
like, you don't want someone telling you what to do every round. You don't want someone who's going to actually win the game. You want someone who's going to be ignored so that you can buy a ghost every round and run it down. And the other team won't expect it. Because if you buy a ghost 11 rounds in a row, there's no way they think you're going to buy it the 12th round. Like, I couldn't get into the mind of the enemies and think that. I don't think you could either. And that's why if you buy a ghost every round, they're not going to expect it the next round. It's unpredictable.
Absolutely.
Of course, number 4, who's number 4? It couldn't be anyone besides Toby. I think Toby is he's an essential member of this team. Like, he's been training since day 1 to yell at people in comms, I think. Now, of course, he plays a lot of this one, like, it's kind of a bad game, and I'm even forgetting it because it's so bad. But he like plays this one game, and it has like an anime to it, you know what I'm talking about.
Persona.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's been training on that. So you don't know if he can actually play Valorant. But he does all of his time on that game, in my opinion, because every time he's in chat, he's talking about that, okay? So, unpredictable, you don't know if he can actually play the game. But of course, when he does, he's really good at calming. Like, you heard that quote from earlier, like, Kenny, fucking lurk. Like, you could hear that from him again. Although Kenny might not be on the team, but that's something that you need on a play as the player. If you're going to ignore the IGL, you need Toby on the team, okay? Of course, number 5, this is the most desired pick, I think. Now, it was forgotten for a long time, but it's important to add Fish to your roster. Like, no roster is complete without him. Like, we've touched on his attendance record. Show me a person with a more perfect attendance record at missing scrims, of course. Like,
exactly. 100%.
Like, you might be EXO who shows up to every scrim, but why play scrims if you think you're going to lose them? Instead, be Fish who misses every scrim, so that way you know that you can't lose any scrims, okay?
Exactly.
Like,
you can't lose scrims if you don't do
games.
the scrims.
That's what I'm thinking. Of course, I went a little above and beyond, Jenny, and I actually drafted a couple subs. So my subs for the roster...
Okay.
Oh, they might not be there. Oh no, Jenny. I'm hearing word from the production that they're not there. Of course, I'll bring them in right now, okay? My subs, one of them is going to be Beckett, I've decided. Right off the bat, people have requested to not be on a team with Beckett. Like, in this BCT 5, when Beckett's not playing, he's been requested to not be on a team. Like, I think the unpredictable part would be to actually have Beckett on that team. And I think that would then improve the quality of the roster, okay? That's why I'm thinking ahead of time. Of course, there's a lot of talk about airlines this morning in the BCT or in Boaster's Discord. So as like my second sub, I would have to sign British Airways. Like, they're so good at destroying trophies, losing my bags, sending me emails about maybe losing my bags, and then also destroying Fnatic's trophy. Like, there's nothing better than British Airways to conclude my team.
They can destroy anything, including other teams.
Yeah. It's something else. And that, it brings joy to my eyes, you know, joy to my mentality as a player, of course. But yesterday, Jenny, and we alluded to this a little bit earlier when we were talking about interviews, we were never able to get the live interview, but I got something better. I remember quotes from the interview, okay? So we had Kenny and Reaction on the mic yesterday, late at night, maybe early morning, depending on where the heck you are. But Kenny and Reaction, the duo that's been promised to win it all in some people's eyes. they could potentially go from 0 to hero right off the bat. And something I heard from Reaction, now he might not let Jenny play that duelist role, that Reyna, but Kenny he's a strong-headed guy. He's really believing in himself, and I think that's very important for any player. And because he has that self-belief, he's gonna win it all. Of course, he has said that he's gonna learn how to shoot his gun, and then next time he's going to actually lurk on Jet at the right time. Now he's not gonna sit in a corner and lurk. Kenny said that he was gonna play the game as long as Reaction lets him play Reyna. Now, I don't want to leak their whole comp because Kenny on Reyna could be something no one's going to predict.
It could.
But that was from the interview that was just so essential to the future BCT game.
Absolutely. I think it's really important that we address these compositional opinions between the two of them, and Kenny's very strong desire to play Reyna. Very strong.
Now, Jenny, we've heard, and that was like almost a little leak, but I have more exciting news. I have tea time with a professional barista, okay, Jenny? Hear this out.
Ready.
You have tea time with Ginger, okay? Let's go on to the first slide. Now, these are all screenshots we've been able to pull up to just show how essential and how good these future teams are looking. Wow. I mentioned how Kenny believes in himself. Like, look at this. He's talking to himself in chat. He's saying good luck. Like, you wouldn't have a teammate saying that to you. Like, you're lacking here. But everyone, if you keep looking around, you even have Pooksy promising stuff because they want to play against Floaty. Will they actually beat Floaty? I don't know. But, they're pretty good. Of course, Toby has the goth girl buff that he's met at the zoo a long time ago. And even EXO being drafted with ammo for the 5th time. Crazy powerful. Of course, Kenny, he's training in those VCs. He's waiting for that duo to show him around, to show him how to play. And Avian, he's getting ready. He's talking to Karis to get that pre-game buff. Pre-game buff that's going to carry through to that next slide. Let's look at that next slide, of course. This is more Kenny drama. But this time you actually have Avian in it. Now, we've talked about Reaction telling Kenny not to play Reyna. I think Kenny should play Skye instead. And here's why. Because he will buy a heal and then not heal anyone. Like, I've never seen someone manage their finances better than Kenny.
Exactly.
Like, it's something that you don't know will happen until it happens. And Kenny, he's been told that he can play Duelist and Chamber, but I think he's better off on Skye. Of course, you can't get too excited about that because if we move on, we actually have some real BCT drama brewing. This is on this next slide. This is from a teammate going on to the other teammate. Mano has leaked from her team that there are heavy internal issues. Self-reporting that Mano is constantly DMing Floaty saying fuck you and insulting Kiro, killing her own teammates. Arashi with the Razal in game on purpose. This team is already falling apart. And the sources are crazy for this leak. Jenny,
exactly.
This concludes tea time with Ginger, but this is something to look forward to on this BCT game.
Absolutely. I agree. I'm going to be honest, I really can't wait to see a lot of the drama. I think it's going to be better than Love Island, I'm going to be honest, and I am excited.
Yeah. Now, of course, Jenny, some recaps that we've brought through. BCT 4, heavily successful, skills won it all, and now he's coaching. Of course, EXO's DMs were leaked, and now he could win it all in BCT 5. He had that buff, he had that nerve, and now he's back. But we announced those rosters I don't even know what day it is anymore. But we announced the rosters, Jenny. And, we had some heavy, well-done reactions. Now, Jenny, I think it's overdue that we play that reaction video.
Absolutely. I think we should see a recap of just exactly how the BCT 5 role announcement went down.
It's Ammo. It's the GOAT. I just hope this team goes out in groups, I'm gonna be honest.
All clear again. Like you. I love you, Picture John.
amazing, Jenny. Well done with that editing. That deserves
you.
another round of applause. And
Thank
that recap, already getting hype. But you know what would make the games even better? Besides the pick'ems, besides a hidden segment that you have coming up, we have bingo. Now,
I love
everyone,
bingo.
you can follow along with this BCT 5 bingo. We have amazing squares to check off. If you get 3 in a row, then you win. Of course, you want to win as soon as possible, and these games are set up to ensure that. Now, you have a promise 13-0. Now, Reaction and Kenny have a little experience with that. They might be able to speak on how to earn that 13-0 a little bit faster, a little bit better, and even a Seed 4 MVP. Now, Seed 4s, that can include Kenny, which is kind of crazy. Kenny. But, if Kenny MVPs, you win bingo at that point, okay?
Yeah, Beckett all unfortunately.
Beckett all, just in case you're a little confused, that's basically the same thing as a Rosa. Now, Beckett, he's known for his skilled Raze gameplay by missing ults. So really, if you wanna check that off, just make sure you whiff that ult, okay? But Jenny, enough with bingo. I think you're excited for bingo. What segment do you have in store for all of us?
So I have a little something prepared that I would love to give out a couple of awards to teams that I don't think are winning shit. So a little bit of consolation for them. I've got 2 awards that I would absolutely love to give out. So our first one that we have is the Implosion Award that is designed by myself. I know, Gucci.
That is some Microsoft Paint skills right there.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? I learned it from Devad. So I have this award for the team that I think is going to implode the most. The team that is going to be like a minefield of players. And this team, congratulations to Mike's team, because you guys have won the Implosion Award. There is no team that I think is going to implode more than these guys. I think that they're going to slowly go downhill and then just implode at the final hurdle. And that's why I think they deserve this award.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one more award to give out, which is the Master Tilter Award, which is for the team that I think is going to get the angriest, the team that's going to cause the most drama, the team that's going to get the angriest at each other. And I think that deserves to go to EXO's team number 5. Congratulations, guys, because you truly deserve this one. I think there's going to be a lot of internal conflict, a lot of tension in that team, but I'm excited to see it.
Oh, wow. That is something to look forward to. And those awards, I honestly wish I could have won that. But, almost to conclude our segment on this W podcast with a Christmas-themed bingo card, Jenny, it wouldn't be complete without pick'ems, Absolutely, we're excited for this game, and I think you can hold it to me. I have the best pick'em that anyone's ever seen, okay? So if you want to pull up... Oh, well, now let's talk about this disagreement we have, because while our Group A pick'ems look almost the same, I think that Team 6 is going to finish in their top seed. Team 6, huge promise out of everyone. You have Mr. BCT himself on that team. Now Woeful, he's got buffs left, right, and center during BCT. You can't beat him. Of course, you can't put all the pressure on him because he's just one guy. But Mike, when he doesn't tilt, he is really good at IGLing. Of course, he can't tilt, and the Serbian government can't attack his PC. Everything else is lined up for that team then.
Exactly. It does look good. I agree with you that Team 6 are going far, but I have Team 2 making out of their group flawlessly because I have so much faith in that Turkish core. Those Kanka peaks are going to be insane. If people can't handle one Kanka peak, how are they going to handle multiple at the same time? I think they're pretty unbeatable. We've got Girls Get It Done. We've got Mofcon the GOAT. We've got Vic the GOAT. I think we all know how Vic plays. And I'm really excited to see Team 6 and Team 2 do well. And I think those are the 2 that are making it out of my group.
Yeah, Group A is definitely one of my favorites, but Group B is something else at the same time. Now, I think you're on some like Zaza or something when you made this Group B prediction, because as you heard from Beckett, Team 3 could win it all. You have Gunzer, an actual coach. You have the coaching lineup squad with Skills and Ginger. And then you have the actual players. Like, for like love's sake, like all those players on that squad are gonna just like dominate. Like Team 3 has so much potential. Even like Fennec, I think, will carry the squad. Like, I've heard so many good things about their duelists playing, and that's why you're 100% wrong, Jenny, with that Group B bracket, I think.
Ooh, that's a bold statement. I have a little script. I actually had a little bit of a thought process behind it. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even really think about Team 3. I didn't actually know this Goonza law before I made this, so maybe if I had known, maybe my pickings would have been different. But I made them, and I always respect someone who doubles down. So I am doubling down. And I think that Team 7 are going to have a flawless run. I think that they're going to have some really good synergy, actually, and I have a lot of faith in that team. I think Team 5, I think EXO's team are going to start off, right, this is my theory, this is my internal script. Their team is going to start off well. They're going to finish on a dominant win on map 1, game 1, I mean. They're going to take the series. The game, it's a BO1. I'm on the Zaza. I actually am, you're right. And after that, Ammo's PC dies. 5 minutes, that's all, but it's enough for EXO to lose it. And they don't win a single W in my books. I love Tokyo Seviorum, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that they're going to implode after that. They're not going to win a single another round. I think they're getting double 13-0'd after EXO tilts and that true moment of weakness is shown. And I think Team 1 are going to do pretty well. I think that they're actually going to have a bit of a hard start. And then after that, I think they're going to talk to each other. They're going to say, guys, look, what if we just don't care? What if we just don't try? And then after that, I think they're going to dominate. I think they're going to have that loose mindset. And I can see them getting out of their group in a dominant fashion.
Yeah, now that's something else, Jenny. But, as you saw a sneak peek too, I went a little ahead. I decided that Team Turkey and Friends is going to win it all. I think they're going to get out of their group, out of the bracket as the second seed, and then they're going to go crazy. Like, you've never seen Turkey and Friends win it so well. If they don't have a team name, I am willing to let them take this team name from me. Like, I designed this poster for them. I will cheer till the end. They are going to win it all for BCT.
I almost think a better name would be Turkey and Conkers for the true friends.
Oh,
my kanks.
That's smart.
I think it would be smart. I would win that. So I do think they'll do pretty well, but I'm not sure if I have them winning the whole thing. While I do trust the the Turkish teams. Let's look at VCT, for example. How good are the Turkish teams? You know what I mean? How far have they made it? What I think is going to happen, I have Team 1 going pretty far, which might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I think that Bacon is going to step up more than people expect him to. I think Stans is going to step up more than people expect him to. And I think Avian is also going to step up more than people expect him to. Avian plays Duelist, and the C3s being allowed to play Duelist is a really big adaptation that I think could be really good for him. Even though he would be able to play it anyway because of the peak rules, he's very good at playing Duelist, and I think it'll be really beneficial to his team to have a player like that and to have players like Senka and Bacon setting him up. I think this team is going to go all the way.
I agree with that. It's an important part of these predictions to be wrong, of course, but it's something else, Jenny. And this Ironchat segment without your predictions could have been plat. So thank you for helping us make it true to the
Why
name.
Would you say this? Why would you do this?
Jenny, of course, I've heard, in my mind, we totally forgot about Team 8 actually winning any games. But Team 8, if you think about it, Reaction, he's never going to give up. And he's never going to let you down.
He really isn't, is he? He really isn't. I think he's never going to give up on his idea of not letting Kenny play Reina. Like, you never know what could happen if Kenny actually plays Reina or if Kenny doesn't. It'll be interesting to see.
That is an exciting match, of course. BCT is next week, so you have to get excited. You have to be thinking what team's going to win. And if you're actually playing, it might be helpful to start scrimming now because MovCon is already dominating the scrim, so you can't sit by sitting ready for Turkey and Conkas to win it all. Of course, Jenny.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure to be on the mic with you. I've loved every second of it. Ironchat podcast will be back for next BCT. But this concludes our segment. So thank you, Jenny, for joining me. And also thank you to the viewers. Your chat reactions were hilarious to read and try to keep it together while I was talking. But we appreciate you watching till the end. Of course, enjoy the day, and we'll see you at BCT 5. I can count. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.